Hi, you guys. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. I wanted to get on today and I wanted to talk about, um, our reward for our obedience. Many times we have been in this race, this rat race, this marathon, this journey, this walk, this run, this, whatever you want to call it. We feel like we have been on a marathon and we feel like, God, I've been being obedient. I have been being, faithful. I have been pushing past my limits. I have been striving for greater and for more. I've been in you. I've been in my word. All those things. I have been faithful over the things that you've told me to do. We know that obedience is important because obedience is better than sacrifice. We know that, if we do not be obedient over something, then that will then place us into a state of having to sacrifice. So that's why they say, obedience is better than sacrifice. God doesn't want you to have to sacrifice, if you can just be obedient. When God tells us to be obedient, it is for a reason. It's for our protection. He needs to teach us, to till us, to mold us, to build character, to build restraint from certain things, to get us into alignment. We have to be able to listen and to hear and to understand and know when to move and when not to move and when to take notes on things. It's just like with a child. We want them to listen and to be obedient to the things that you are saying to them, so that they don't hurt themselves, or you're trying to teach them a lesson, or it's just a life's lesson that they need to learn with whatever's going on. So it's the same way with God. We're just grown kids. We're just grown kids living life. That's all it is. So we know that, for those, this word will be for those that have been faithful. We know that, our obedience will open doors for us that we could have never imagined. We will be able to see the blessings of the Lord for real, because we stayed in a position, we stayed in a posture of, whatever you say, whether it goes to, let someone go, or, do this or do that, or disconnect from this person, or, whatever it is, God is honoring the faithful in this season. Even when sometimes, we have been, hurt by others, abused, assaulted, and maybe even molested by, some people. God had to test a lot of us to see, are you still going to, pray for your enemy? If God leads you to pray for him, he's going to see, will you be obedient to do what I have asked you to do? There's a lot of us that, we don't like it. We don't want to. Sometimes we still feel some type of way, and that's just, real. That's what it is. Sometimes we don't want to pray for people. We just don't. But, if you have been the person that's been in the posture, and that's been in the gap, and, interceding for people, even though, they have done you wrong. And sometimes people don't even know that, that they have been doing you wrong. So, I will give you this scripture to help encourage you. It says in Galatians 6:9, and let us not grow weary of doing good, for in due season we will reap if we do not give up. And we know the definition of reap is to gather or harvest, meaning to receive a reward. So we know that, the faithful, they will always be rewarded in God's eyes. So, the Lord knows, we have been faithful over little. Now, he will give those, more. He will make them ruler over many. And that's in Matthew 25 and 23. So we know that God will add on to us. He will provide the things that we need. Even if we have been in a season of lack and of struggle, God has to and he will reward his people because his word said so. And we know that God's not a man and he will not lie. So it has to come forth. We just have to continue to press because we never know. I'm telling you, we never know when God is going to knock on the door or send somebody or just have a supernatural experience. You never know when God is going to show up and show out. You never know. The day you feel like giving up, even if it's today, if you feel like giving up on your obedience because you feel like you're not getting anywhere and other people are, getting ahead of you, do not allow that to break you. Keep pressing because that day or today could be your day that you get your reward, your breakthrough that you need. God has to, till you and turn you and, create character. You know what I mean? We have to build up a tolerance, stamina in this thing because it's not going to get any easier. That's why we have to fill ourselves up with the word, not the world, and disconnect from the world, being in it but not of it. I said that right. So that we are not confused by what the world thinks obedience is and what we should be doing as followers of Christ. But that being said, keep pressing, keep moving forward, stay positive. You don't know if today is your day to get your breakthrough. Obedience is a good thing. Just because someone else is doing something, that does not mean, you know what I mean? You're not going to get what you have. God has a perfect time and a perfect destination for us to be. God is intentional everywhere we go, from the time that we wake up to the time that we go to sleep. Every destination we go to throughout the day and everything that we do, all the people that we connect with, the people that we meet, the people that, call us, whatever it is, God already knows. He knows what you need. He's so intentional. It is down to the T. And we forget that. We all forget that. We forget that God is in control. From the hairs on our head, he knows how many hairs, we have on our head, down to when we're gonna, leave this earth. He knows these things. So we have to continue to, put our trust, to put our faith, to put our hope, our expectations in God and not in man. Okay? I love you guys. Take care.